So a very good evening to you here on Joy 99.7 FM, your super station, channel of blessing and your place of inspiration. Today is Sunday, the 26th of February, 2023, 3 minutes after the hour of 9. A very good evening to you and welcome to your favorite Christian talk show, A Walk with Jesus, here on Joy 99.7 FM. The month of February is our month of love. The month of February here on A Walk with Jesus has been an educative one for singles who are preparing to begin their marriage journey, and also for married couples who are seeking to make their marriages better. We began the month by discussing what Christian marriages are and what makes Christian marriages work, and then moved on to discuss the subject of communication, effective communication in marriage, as well as, resolving conflicts in marriage. Tonight, we'll crown our discussion on the love or on love for this month, certainly not for the year, as we delve into the topic of intimacy in Christian marriages. The book of Ephesians and several other scriptures on marriage have likened the ideal marriage relationship to the relationship we are supposed to have with God. Now, the scriptures also reveal that God requires us to have an intimate relationship with Him. We'll understand what intimacy means, as our resourceful guests delve into the subject with us. So tonight on A Walk with Jesus, we will delve into the discussion of building intimacy in the Christian marriage. And I'll be introducing my resourceful guests tonight in due time. But I warmly welcome you to tonight's edition of A Walk with Jesus. My name is Pastor Atuakwa. I'm ably supported by way of production by Abraham Ofusu Ofori. Remember that we're streaming live on Facebook, so connect with us and share the pages as well. We're live on YouTube as well. Do well to connect and share the links. Before we delve into serious matter, I'd want to treat you to a beautiful song coming from the ministry of Timi Dakolo, titled The Woman I Love. Enjoy it, and when we come back, we'll be delving into matters. I'm going to be asking all the questions that you expect that I ask, but we can also get interactive as you join the discussion via WhatsApp. Is 055 1111 997 055 1111 997, or get on our Facebook page and post your comments or your questions there. A very warm welcome to you once again, and we'll be right back after this musical break.
From the very first time that I set my eyes on you, I didn't feel Cupid's arrow. It was no love at first sight, but I knew there was something so special about you. Baby girl, as I got to know you, you've turned this boy into a man, and my mistakes into a plan. So I never let you go. This is the woman I love. She's the center of my joy. And this is the woman I love. No one else can make me say I do. She makes me go. La, 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 la. She makes me go. She makes me go. No one else can make me say I do. Oh, what a gift from the Almighty God. She's so selfless and understanding. I can't explain it. Oh, she's amazing. She's no fair weather friend. I'd give anything just to have a laugh at her. So she's my shining star. And as the days go by, I found the reason why this this little boy to be a man. Turn my mistakes into a plan. So I never let her go. This is the woman I love. She's the center of my joy. This is the woman I love. No one else can make me say I do. She makes me go la 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 la. She makes me go. She makes me go. Ooh, no one else can make me say I do. I promise to be the love of your life. I promise to make you my queen and my wife. I promise there'll be no reasons for you to let go, let go, let go, let. I promise to be your man. I promise I'll remain your husband and friend. I promise there'll be no reason for me to let go, let go, let go, let go. This is the woman I love. She's the center of my joy. This is the woman I love. I place the one above her. Ooh, yeah. La, 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 la. She makes me go. She makes me go. No one else can make me feel so loved. This is the woman, and this is the woman. This is the woman. This is the woman I love. No one else can make me say I do. She makes me go. She makes me go. She makes me go. Yeah. No, 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 no. Oh. I love her. Ooh, and I place the one above her. Oh yeah. La 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 la. She makes me feel so.
All right, so a very warm welcome to you if you just joined us. This is a Walk with Jesus right here on Joy 99.7 FM. And the song you just heard is The Woman I Love, coming from the ministry of Timi Dakolo. I'm very sure you enjoyed it. Tonight, we're discussing the subject of intimacy in Christian marriages. And I know that for some marriages it's actually a no-go area, at all, because it's quite a sensitive subject to touch on, but it's worth discussing. And I am blessed this very evening with two great people who are going to be helping us to unravel this subject. I have with me here in the studios Reverend Manuel Kumi, a family life consultant and founder of New Life Counseling Services, right here in the studios of Joy 99.7 FM. Also, a very good evening to you.
Good evening to you. Thank you.
Right.
And it's actually New Hope.
New Hope, rather.
Yes.
Right. Forgive me for that. Right. How are you doing?
By God's grace, doing very well.
We thank God. It's drawn all over you. You're looking rested.
Oh, thank God. I think Abraham was telling me that I didn't want to believe it.
You really are.
Thank you.
All right, then. And I would want to say she probably needs no introduction, but we have her right here in the studios of 99.7 FM. I am talking about no other person than Reverend Mrs. Charlotte Odro. She's a renowned counselor. If you're somebody who's been following the subject of marriage in this country and probably beyond, you definitely might have come across her on the media space, and we're blessed to have her right here in the studios. A very, very good evening to you, ma'am.
Good evening.
Right. How are you doing?
I'm blessed.
It's drawn all over you that you're blessed.
Of course, I'm blessed. Thank you.
Yes, right. So we'll be discussing the subject of intimacy in Christian marriages. So do well to pick a phone, call friends, call loved ones, tell them to tune in to 99.7 megahertz as we discuss the subject. I'm very sure that in the next couple of minutes you will be educated, you will be informed, you will be blessed. And I pray that your marriage will be healed after you have done the listening to us tonight. Right. Intimacy. I would want to begin by asking you both, because you both are into mainline marriage ministry. Is it a factor that is problematic in a lot of Christian marriages?
Anyway, thank you so much, and we thank our listeners too. Really, it is when it comes to Christians, because when we talk about intimacy, Christians have issues with
Unlike the non-Christians.
Of course, the non-Christians are welcoming when you talk about intimacy.
Very plain.
They're ready to share. They're ready to talk at it as it is. But when it comes to Christians, it's difficult. There are some churches when you even go and you want to talk about intimacy.
It's like no.
You don't go there at all. I don't know what they think, but it's killing Christian marriages, because they don't allow us to talk about it. The church is not talking about it, but the people are dying because some of them are coming from the world and they got to know Christ and they are used to some things. And intimacy is not a sin. It is something we all need, that closeness, that love, that unity, that peace that we need for each other. If it's not there, what else are we doing in the marriage? If it's not there, there's nothing else. So when the two of them are there and they can't create anything fun to bring the two of them together, it's boring. It gets to a point, either of them will start cheating outside. With their worldly person, because they get what they want. Because the church wouldn't allow you to talk about it.
Wow.
So intimacy is really a problem when it comes to the church.
Christian marriages.
Some of the churches.
Wow.
They don't allow it to be talked about. Even when they have issues with it, who are you going to talk about? Who is going to listen to you? Some of the men of God say, this man is between you and your husband. Say, it's okay. So it's okay. Just shiver it and be there, be fine. But they are dying. So it's like, okay, then I won't talk to the church. I'll go outside and do what I have to do.
What I have to do.
A lot is happening.
Why do you think, Rev, that the church seems to have an issue with it? Why is that so?
You know, it's a cultural thing. It's a culture thing.
Okay.
I know. You look at it from where we are coming from.
All right.
The kids can't talk about sex openly before mom and dad.
Yeah.
And we have taken that into the church.
Okay.
You know, the Bible has, since history, has fallen into cultures. And so the way that people behave would affect their worship as well.
Is that to say that we see sex as an indecent thing?
We see it as a high. It's like something that is reserved for mom and dad only to talk about. Kids cannot talk about it.
It's a bedroom thing.
It's like a bedroom thing. Very sacred. Yeah, that's the word. It's too sacred for us to talk about if we are not married. And I think we need to demystify that thing among the church, like within the congregation, that it is not a taboo. It is okay for my son, even 13 years, to come and ask me about it. But you find parents saying that, who told you that? Forget about this one. We'll talk about it when you are older. But he wants to know. So guess what? They find out from friends. And here so you see, it's not shocking that the secular marriages are doing better.
I see.
Because they are more open.
Wow.
And they are more vulnerable with each other.
Wow.
So we have a problem.
And then that means that it's very important that we've brought it on such a platform so that we dissect things. We would want to begin by understanding what intimacy in marriage is all about.
All right. It's all about that closeness, the bond that needs to happen between the two. Intimacy goes deeper. It's like when the Bible said the two were naked and they were not ashamed. It's so deeper. You see my weakness, I see your weakness. We bond together. You know, you are the only one that can unveil so many things to. That closeness, that sexuality when it comes to marriage. It's the only one person you can share that with. So intimacy is just a bond, that closeness that you need for each other. That's it.
I see. You might share your thoughts on that.
Bonding on various levels, physical, emotional, mental, all these levels. We must have intimacy on those levels, because you see, we can't talk about sex if we are not even friends. Physically, we don't play with each other. So because for the women especially, you know, they're listening, the verbal, you know, they want to hear something. If we don't chat, if you are not my friend, if you are not my chatmate, we can hardly do very well with ourselves in bed. It reflects there. Many people just want to jump into the sex, but no.
That's what they're doing. That's what the Christians, most of them are doing.
Well, yes.
They're just jumping into it. There's no romance. There's nothing. There's no foreplay. There's nothing. There's no communication. We don't do nothing. They don't test. They don't even, don't create that atmosphere for it. No, they are shy to do it.
We don't bond. We don't spend time to bond physically and mentally. I don't connect with my spouse, and so we can't connect sexually.
It's just jumping all over.
Can you share with us, Reverend Charlotte, the factors to consider in spicing up this aspect of our marriages?
You first have to know who you are first. What makes you happy, what drives you when it comes to intimacy is very important. I love communication.
Well, does it differ from person to person?
Yes, it differs. You can't treat Kojo the same way you treat Kwame.
Okay.
So that is why when you're going to get married and you have a past, you must be able to work your mind up. Otherwise, you're going to bring the experience with Kojo to your marriage and expecting your husband to be like Kojo. It's not done like that. Your husband may have another approach when it comes to intimacy. Okay. So first, I always say this: if you want to have a good home, study your partner. Okay. Know them. Learn who they are. Don't just think for them. Learn them. You may see something and you may think, oh, this is it. It may not be what you think. You need to get more closer to know who they are. Intimacy is very important. Some of the people, they are bubbly. I'm a bubbly type, and my kind of way I want a man to treat me when it comes to that, I need to educate you about it. You may go the wrong way if I don't educate you. You may think, oh, I was the woman's man. He may not be the man for me if you go the way they wanted it. So we first have to talk when it comes to the intimacy aspect of it, and know what your man wants, and know what the woman wants, know how she wants to be treated, and how she wants things to be. But in our Christian marriage, it is so hard to even communicate and talk about, okay, let's sit down. How do you start it? Where do you touch? Where do you want to go? Where are we getting to? What is the motive behind it? We are not having sex, we are making love because you're married.
What's the difference? That's quite profound. We're not having sex. We're making love. What's the difference?
The difference is that I'm putting everything into it. I'm loving you. I'm sharing my secret, everything into it. I'm not just going to have sex with you. You pay me and I'm gone.
Okay, that's in coitus. I mean, we'll just engage in that.
And then we are gone. Some are just on heat, and one way or the other, they are just gone. That's different. If I'm going to make love to you, we start from morning. You psych the mind for it. You start treating in the afternoon. Before you come home, it starts from somewhere. The atmosphere must be love atmosphere. The communication must be love communication. And every aspect of your tone, and you see, it goes a long way when you're going to make love.
Interesting.
I say, you have sex with a prostitute. There's no connection there. But with your wife, it has to be love making, and so we want to talk about emotional needs. What satisfies me. Like you see, there's a unique profile. I have a unique profile. I have a unique profile. My wife has a unique profile. So by the time we are courting, so one of the things we do is actually have a class to teach you how to pen down your emotional needs for me. You
really?
Also, oh yeah.
Write them down.
Write them down. Put action points under each one. For example, if I talk about respect, everyone says respect. The woman asks, how do I respect you?
That is the case.
For one man, it's how you serve the table. He doesn't care if you insult his mother. No. For another man, it's how you are. How do I put? It's how you greet me when I enter the house. It's different. So if we don't know one another's emotional needs, how are we satisfying each other? Because when we're able to bond on that level, the love making flows so
it's
easily.
Beautiful.
Oh my God!
But you know what the other partner wants. You do it. You go according to that. It's so peaceful. Many men talk about what he said, respect.
Respect, yeah.
Some of them even don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
When you ask them what they're talking about,
respect
then they are just there. Just doesn't respect. They don't even know what they want.
What
so they are just confused, and they make the woman also confused. So she keep on asking, what do you want?
Yeah.
Because they don't communicate. They don't speak their weaknesses, their strength to each other. Okay, I'm the man of the heart. That is it. If I want it, I want it. Whether you're in the mood for it, no, they don't care. They just jump, as I said, they jump into it. And many Christian marriages, I'm telling you the truth, if you pick 100 of them, almost 90%.
Don't scare me, please. Don't scare me. Don't scare me. 98%.
I'm telling you, don't enjoy love. When it comes to making love, you don't enjoy it.
So it begins from sitting down and really having a heart-to-heart talk between husband and wife, and understanding who we are and what we expect from each other.
Yeah.
In a case where, for example, I have not been too exposed, before marriage. Now I'm married to someone who's had that experience, male or female. I mean, let's take a female who's not been too exposed, but is married to a man who's been there, and now is married. How I don't even know what I want. That's the problem. I don't know what I want. All I know is that I want to enjoy it. As to how I want you to handle me, I don't know. Where do we handle this? And then we'll treat that vice versa.
Okay. So I tell, we did a program together. On my day, I was talking about sexual compatibility and then sexual commitment. Okay. Many people are looking for justification to fornicate before they marry. I said, no, you don't need that sexual encounters before you marry. Or whatever practice and rehearsals you did at that time was very unnecessary. When we have married, we now have to be sexually committed. I don't know, you don't know, but we are committed to teaching each other. We are committed to exploring and doing everything. So that, you won't find me saying, I don't enjoy sex with my wife. The question is, compared to who? Because you have had all the sex in the past. Exactly. So you have so many people to compare with. So now me and you are not enjoying because you are comparing. But if we hadn't done anything, we are now committed to doing the thing and now finding out, reading, attending good classes, counseling classes. You can attend mommy's church and she'll teach you how to have sex properly. We learn these things because at this point in the marriage, we are now committed to finding out and doing it well. So we don't need all those sexual encounters before. We rather destroy each other, bonding unnecessarily with other people's souls. And that brings trouble to us in the right place. And that's one dangerous thing. Soul ties. Everybody you ever slept with in the past, you are married to them spiritually. So guess what? We are now doing ring here, I love you, for God, put asunder, blah, 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 blah. We have not done it before. But the 15 people I did with 3 years ago, they are the ones I'm truly married to. So whatever they carried, I'm bringing it here. So you see why we have so many problems in the Christian marriages. It's spiritual. Whether we like it or not, we are spirit beings. Because sex is not just physical. Even emotion. When we are so connected with your spouse on some level, you guys, it's like I don't know. It's so deep.
It's difficult to explain that aspect.
It's so deep, so emotional. So by the time you are making love with such a person, the connection you can't explain it.
Sure.
So that's different from picking up somebody behind the door at some place, and then that's just sex. It's really just sex. It's nothing.
Right. But Reverend Manuel, in the case where, say, probably what the person was doing was not necessarily exploring, but the person was not transformed. And has had that experience and then came to meet Christ and is transformed this time around. Okay, that experience is still there. Now, a gentleman like that with such a past has gone for a lady who's not been that exposed, and we're saying we need to explore. We need to have an open talk. This lady doesn't even know what she wants in the first place. How do we handle a case like that, as Christians?
We want to make the sexual relationship as practical as possible. Let's not talk too much. Let's get into the action. But you see, for such a man, you have to be very patient, because you are now come to teach her, hold here. Don't hold here. Be patient. When you rub here, don't rub for too long. You're pinching you have to be very patient.
That open. You would have to be that open.
You have to be that open, not vulgar. There's a difference between being vulgar and being romantically plain.
Okay.
Let's be sexual when it comes to this.
I'm really trying not to.
Can we be okay now? We are
go.
married, so let's be sexual. Man of God, let it be open.
So we've got to be that plain.
Be plain. Hold it. Don't hold it. Pull it. Don't pull it. Be gentle. Sit on it. No. Don't go too deep. No, turn this way.
Grace, man.
Teach the person. Because if you are not taught, you can't be good. So if you're not that plain, you're going to do with somebody who also has that equal experience with you, thinking that when it's easier is better. But that is wrong. You need the commitment.
And Reverend Charlotte, that also goes with a woman who's had that experience in the past and who's married a greenhorn man.
It's a big trouble, I'm telling you.
Who doesn't?
You see,
we
Christians, we forget this. We think that when we know Christ, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good somebody comes to know Christ, but who they are is still there. Yeah. It's a working process.
Sure.
Yeah.
Their attitude and their characters, we've already taken. We are used to it. It's something we enjoy. It's part of us. So our problem is this: when we are courting or we're going for counsel, we normally don't talk about sex.
Yeah.
We become normal. Oh, we are Christians. Listen, the truth is that we may be Christians, but talk about sex. Speak to him about it. Because if a woman is out there and she knows a lot of things and the man is green, massa, it's not easy. It takes a woman that has a lot of patience. To drive that man to that space where, because most of the men that are green in the beginning, everything looks strange.
And mentally, I think that because men think in pictures, I'm sure no one can say what's
that's what I'm getting to, especially our African men. When a woman wants to explore, they have a label for you, and even in their mindset, they won't open their mouth to say it, but their attitude tells you, okay, what is she doing? so it makes it okay. Then she'll hold on. She wouldn't want to explore, but when she gets outside and she gets somebody that will treat her well, she will cheat because she can't express herself in the marriage. What do you want her to do? And expressing yourself is not a sin. Can our Christian people understand that sex is good when you're married? Making love. It's pure. It's good. Can we stop this Holy Ghostic attitude and be real? I'm telling you, man of God, there are many men of God that I speak to privately that are having it outside their marriage.
Yep.
Because they can't discuss it. And some of the wives are so shy to even listen to it. I ask myself, what is wrong with that?
What did you marry for then?
So they have to put the lights off, and some of them can't even open their eyes to see their partners. So I ask myself, what are we doing? And it's killing them. Many are dying out of it. I'm telling you, if you are married and sex is not good, making love is not good. We are not married though.
Wow.
It will create issues.
The men must understand, Christian men must understand that women like adventurous men.
Crazy.
So that's why you wonder, why do these girls fall for the bad boys?
Bad boys, yeah.
They take them on some roller coaster. It's not just about sleeping on the table and doing. Some people are always on the bed.
It's difficult to deal with them.
They are always doing the missionary on the same bed, the same spot, the same candlelight, the same music.
You don't even like candles.
Some people have some, after traveling and seeing or watching a few good movies, they also want to have that, romantic atmosphere. It's the same thing for years. But you see, if you're with a woman and you're not adventurous, she doesn't really fall for you. That's they go for the wild boys. But you see, that is why. Because the Christian men don't want to be adventurous, especially the ministers. And it's very, very true. In fact,
I didn't say it.
it's okay, I'm also saying it because I know. Some of the worst marriages are that of ministers. Their wives are not doing well. Some of the women married to ministers are in bad business. Yeah, but we are praying. Wife is crying, we are preaching. How do you leave the microphone?
The best prophets in town, and their wives are dying inside.
We forget that is when you get to the altar and you remember that you have a problem with your brother. It's not just brother, your wife, your first environment, your first business. It's your marriage. It's your wife. And she's crying. And you pick microphone to come and pray. We are praying all night, 12 hours, 8 hours. You can't even hold a conversation with your wife for 15 minutes. Abba, you are ungodly. You are ungodly.
Now, I can imagine somebody telling the husband, "What's happening here, boss?" What's happening here, boss? So we've got to be that open. We've got to really talk about it, and where one probably might be more experienced than the other. The element of patience. Reverend Manuel mentioned the element of patience. Reverend Charlotte also mentioned the element of patience. Go be patient and then teach your partner as to what to do. Now, what is acceptable in as far as intimacy is concerned in Christian marriages, and what is not acceptable?
For me, I think the right thing, we all know it. Where God wants it to be done, that is where it's supposed to be done. We can be so good exploring a lot of things, but we can't be like other people.
So where a husband says that I like anal sex,
that we know it is wrong. We are Christians talking.
So for a wife who is dealing with a husband like that, Christian, what should she do?
No, it's wrong. People like that need counseling.
Yeah.
You need to be talked to. Maybe your husband is coming from somewhere.
Yes.
And that man needs help. He's been used to it. He may be a Christian. That's what I'm saying, that many of us are coming from somewhere. And now we have come to know Christ. Yes, we know Christ, but some attitude and some lifestyle, we are still work in process. So a person like that needs help. You need counseling. But you know, one thing we have is this. Many people don't believe in counseling. When their marriage is done, they don't go for counseling again. They are done. That is killing us.
Counseling is taking your private matter, before somebody.
You are dying. Until you speak about it with somebody that is called and matured and educated.
Especially the men.
The men, they frown against it, even when their wives calls for it. Let's see a counselor. They are frowning against it. No, I know how to handle my things. I'm okay. We have an issue with our African men believing they're head of the house, and yes, they are, but they're taking it the wrong way. Being the head of the house, it should be an example. Humility should be an example. You should show that sign of ready, a teachable spirit, as Christ showed to us. He humbled himself even to wash the feet of the disciples. That is an example of a leader. So if you're a leader, you need to go on the floor, that level where your wife can also understand. Oh, okay, my leadership doesn't mean I should be on people, but rather I should be a work in process. Show people my weakness and my strength. So I don't know whether men are listening.
They are.
Yes.
They
so
are.
truly, one of the no-go areas is anal sex. I mean, somebody said if you can have anal sex with your wife, you could also pass for a gay.
No,
this person probably says that he was doing it in his past.
He enjoyed
as far as we are
it.
coming from the past, there's something we should know is wrong.
Yeah.
No matter how you want to defend it, that is not how God made it.
Not at all.
I'm not against anybody being a gay, but as a Christian, it's against my calling. It's against my belief. So whatever you believe, it's your business. But as a Christian, I sit, God created a man and created a woman, and that's what I believe. And God paved a way where a man can enter, and that is the only way. The other part, the anus, is not part of it. So we can exploit everything in the bedroom, but some part is a no.
What about oral sex?
Man of God, answer that.
Yes. So, yes, this was a right.
It's very delicate.
So of course, oral sex, code-named blowjobs and heads,
licking and all
the licking
that.
and all of that. For me, with my encounter with the Lord as a minister, he actually said it's a no-go area for me, because by the time he was touching my lips to go and do whatever I have to do for him, he actually gave me the things I can do and cannot do. This is peculiar to me. God deals with us as differently, everybody. So I won't use that as the doctrine to tell everybody that don't go and do blah blah blah, because God will deal with us differently. So
but somebody could use that as a platform. What you're saying right now as a platform, and say that also passes for anal sex. I mean, would the person be right if he says so?
Not at all. If I was receiving fellatio, blowjob, as it were, from my wife,
it's also called fellatio.
Yeah, that's actually the right name.
I see.
Yeah, the scientific name. Yeah. So if I was receiving fellatio from my wife, I don't know how I would say that's the same as having anal sex. There are two different things altogether. So let's not even try to.
The only thing we can speak about the anus is wrong, and that's it. The rest, let the Holy Spirit teach the two of you in the room.
Yeah, be guided. Yeah.
Holy Spirit will teach you.
And the good thing is that when I received that, my wife dreamt it. And that confirmed it.
So there's agreement there.
So God is not a God of confusion. Right. So it means in my home we know that for us this is a no-go area.
But Reverend Manuel, you're a counselor. When a couple sits before you and they have divergent views about this, probably wife is saying, look, give me head.
Yeah.
And husband is saying, nyak, no. Yeah. And the wife is saying, that is what turns me on, and the husband is also saying, look, I'll use my fingers, and it's the same thing. The wife says, no, it's not the same thing, and this case is before you. What would be your advice?
All right, so if the man has to open up more, I will probably know, is it that sometimes you feel the place is unclean? Is it a taboo thing for you from where you're coming from? So let me just assume that he just says, I just don't like it.
He says, I don't like it. I'm not comfortable with it.
Yeah, some people are not.
Actually, yes, it's actually a very difficult thing to do.
And your woman is saying that I also enjoy that.
We need the Spirit of God to help us when it comes to things.
So sometimes the woman can try in that let's shower together. When the eye is seeing how clean I've just become within this space, sometimes a man can compromise and do something small. So you don't expect. So I tell them, don't expect it to be so. For the first time he wants to try, maybe small, but just try and seduce him.
But is it advisable to engage in something I am not comfortable with during intercourse with my spouse, just because it probably makes her feel good?
Yeah, one of the things about this is that sex must be other-oriented. The other person. In fact, our Christianity is about others. It's sacrifice.
Okay, so what you mean by that is that
it's not only
it's not about me.
It's about
whatever I'm going
person.
to do must satisfy my wife. So somebody said, if you can't make her happy, don't waste her time. Go in fully. So she's taught me how I can satisfy her. So I have that in mind. I am coming to satisfy you, and in satisfying you, I receive mine as well. So if I'm other oriented, if I'm my wife oriented, it won't be a problem, because I know where to hit and where not to hit, so that you have that fulfillment, that sexual fulfillment, which may be her emotional need.
Okay.
And in satisfying that emotional need, I know that I must know that it will come as a sacrifice. Yeah, because trust me, some of the things are difficult to fulfill.
Sure.
Some of the men want to just be alone sometimes, alone time. So women don't understand that my husband wants to be alone. Does it mean she's thinking about somebody else? No. It's just what I need. Just
at that moment, you just have to understand.
Just allow the man have. So it comes.
It's
as
not
a
always
sacrifice.
the man.
The
African men always want to have alone time, but the women don't have. I think women also need that. They need it more. The pressure is too much with children, with everything. But African women don't know how to love themselves. They are all in for the family, and it's good. We do that, but we need to have alone time to assess so many things, to rewrite some things, to refresh, and then it helps women to come back to themselves.
So as a person, you need to.
You need it. Everybody needs it.
Yes,
We are married doesn't mean we can't have our privacy. Sometimes, the man needs a time alone. Give him that space. Right. Let him enjoy. Him being alone doesn't mean he's thinking about somebody.
Not at all.
It's the moment you start thinking negative about your partner, it will happen. You are just, is he cheating? These calls are strange. What is wrong with you? Get something doing. You see, this is creating a lot of things in our homes, especially the men. Our women think that this time he normally makes this call and he's always laughing and giggling, and so it means that it could be a woman. So can't he be a man? You see, our mindset is set to a point where the man looks good, he's handsome, he's working, he has money, a woman will be around. So we have that motive already. So if even he's not doing it, the mindset is already there. So that's when we're making love. We start thinking and imagine, why is he making love with him? Is he also thinking about me, or is he thinking about another woman? So you are not even enjoying it. You see, the moment you have him, enjoy him. Forget about whoever is there, whoever is not there. The moment you have with him. But the problem is that we don't communicate whilst making love. That's where our issue is. When the approach is coming, or when we are starting, or the environment is being created, how we whisper into each other's ears.
Is that not distracting?
It's not. It's
to some
beautiful.
To some people.
Okay, it depends on your partner.
Everybody.
But see, you can't. You see, this sex thing, this making love thing, is the power.
I like
for me, if I play music during love making, I end up listening to the lyrics of the music. I know this is not my thing. Okay. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. I just want to, just go quiet time, so I can hear her moans, which is also a turn on. Actually, it's very exciting when a man is making love and he can get the feedback. Feedback is good in marketing. Without feedback, you can't do well. So get the feedback because you strike at some point, you get some sound. That was a good spot.
I think that this whole sex thing is very deep, because we're getting psychology from it. Now we are at marketing.
We are even communication
and all of that.
Yes. So you must get the feedback.
It's deep.
So being quiet, I don't advise couples who make love and everybody's quiet.
Everybody's silent.
How are you getting feedback?
No, I don't know Okay. Some people are thought or brought up to keep quiet. Even when they are joining.
I can't concentrate.
Concentrate on what? Now it's the two of you concentrating on each other. What?
Don't be too noisy. Don't be too loud and disturb the whole compound because somebody is with you. But be assured in your.
When they get to that point and you don't control them, there's trouble. You
just have to gag him for that moment.
Like the freshman who have no experience. Oh God,
You can't come out.
you'll be in trouble. I'm telling you. So it takes time to nurture their feeling and bring them to a point where they will be okay and adjust to it. When things are, when things are getting up to that level and all that, I'm telling you, automatically things change.
Still on that subject, because it's the bane of a lot of Christian marriages, with regards to what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, because that is where a lot of the frictions come from. I think you also think that I want to ask you, Reverend Charlotte, does size matter?
Size of what?
size of the man's manhood.
When it comes to me, and with the research I know,
there are women who make a big deal out of size.
Some do, but with the research I know, the size is not what makes the love beautiful.
Anyway,
really,
I'm telling you, the right spot is at the mouth of it.
The G spot.
So if the man,
the mouth of it is not a G spot. That's the vulva. The G spot is in.
No,
what you say is that it doesn't go too deep.
No. What I'm saying is that what makes the love making good? If a man knows how to handle his manhood, it's not the big or the size. It's just the mouth of the manhood. If he knows how to dive well and treat the woman and bring her to a place where she's good, I'm telling you, your size doesn't matter. But in this case, there are people.
So if you know how to handle the entrance well,
everything.
By the time you get into the court,
you are good to go.
The king is already
you need a triumphant entry.
But the issue is that many women have had experiences out there. They've tried big, small, middle, and all that, and therefore they think the bigger one they got and how many hours they spend with them is the love making. I'm telling you, some of them, they've not even experienced nothing at all. I'm telling you, some have not experienced nothing at all.
It's a big deal for a lot.
Yeah, it is. Many women now, when they come to you, mommy,
small.
My husband says. So I look at them and I say, you know what? You need help. Your mindset is wrong. We need to recreate it, remold it, and bring it to a point where take Kojo out of your mind, take Kwame's side out of your mind, be fresh and be new, and let's recreate it and let this man know how to touch you the right places. Come back and let's talk about it again. When you give them like 6 months, the woman will call you and say, mommy, God, today is that what love making is? You could just imagine that all those years they were with those men, they know nothing.
So size doesn't actually matter.
Really, when you see the doctors and they talk to you about sex, well, it's not all about the size.
So for a gentleman who is listening to us and probably is having self-worth issues with regards to
the size,
the size, and because of that, he's even unable to approach the wife because the wife is like,
they need help. Once I was on radio and we spoke about this issue, and a man called me and he said, I need help. I need medication because my manhood is not big. Small. My wife is complaining. I said, come over. Let's talk. Some are medically, they have issues. Yeah. Some is abnormal size. You could just imagine there's a problem with it. For those people, they need to see doctors.
What should be a normal size?
I think he needs to answer that.
There is no normal size. I can only say there are some abnormal sizes, which of course that one would need.
If there's abnormal, then there should be normal.
You want me to give some measurements, but this is very difficult. But there isn't anything like a normal size. I just feel that if I have to put a ruler to it, anything from 3 inches going can do a good job.
3?
Yes.
There are women who are calling for 9 inches.
Yes. The exploration, it does.
It's just too much.
So that again, like we're saying, with the reorientation must come in, and the man must also be taught well.
Yeah. That's where the problem is.
So let's locate the useful spots and stop dancing around the place you're not supposed to go. The thing is small and short. So it means, as for you, must strike precisely.
You must score.
It's like a penalty.
Exactly.
If you mess us up, Ghana will have issues here.
So that teaching must go on. Teaching must go on. And as a matter of fact, you need to make up your mind, be intentional about it. That I want to learn how to relate sexually excellently with my wife.
There are people who use dildos to make up for, women who use dildos, to make up for this because probably their husbands, are not meeting that expectation, and they don't want to commit adultery. For that method, do you?
They all need help. I'm telling you, many people need help. This sex toys is not the answer.
There are some who say that, well, my husband says that he's done what he can.
That's the best he can do.
They need help.
He's the one who's actually advised it.
Yeah, so I know many men that buy
These
sex
are
for
Christians.
their wife. Yeah, they're Christians. I'm telling you, I've met many women that brought their husbands, and that is their answer to their making love. So the man finishes and allows the wife to use the toy, or even helps the wife to use it. I sat them and I said, you need help. This toy is working nothing. It's your mindset. You are killing yourself. If this man is taught well, they need to allow themselves to be taught. This is our issue with some of the men. They think they are Boros. They think they know it. Mr. Man, you've not met the right woman that will tell you. I'm telling you. You may think, oh, everybody was praising you those days. But when you meet the right woman who is taught well and who knows what this is all about, she will be able to tell you, no, take it easy. This is not how it's supposed to be done.
You're just holding a long gun for nothing.
You're shooting wrong.
Somebody said...
You see, any man who says the wife should use sex toys doesn't love her, because these things physically,
he wants to be
mechanically destroy the reproductive system. Some of these sex toys have some chemical component. They call it PVC or something. They give you some inflammations and actually initiate cancer.
It's not good.
So how if the day I say that to my wife, I don't love her anymore. I've taken the other part of Christianity out of the equation.
This is not
it is
God.
my responsibility to satisfy you. God doesn't meet our emotional needs. So it's my responsibility. So if my wife is not getting being satisfied, then it means I have a problem. I have to make up my mind to satisfy her no matter what it costs. But asking her to use sex toys, no, the love is gone. I can't ask my wife to do that. And if I can't satisfy my wife sexually, then then the marriage is really on rocks.
We are gone.
No, after 3 months we can just annul it.
Interesting.
Oh, yes.
Right. Let's get to a couple of messages. I want to read a couple of your messages. 055 1111997. That's 055 1111997. Kindly connect with us, and we will read your message. This one says, "Good evening, man and woman of God. Much as I agree that love forms the basis for which most Christian marriages are built, luck has also crept into the relationship because a lot of us want to forgo the struggling and long-suffering part, thus attributing good marriages based on luck and not necessarily love. Could this be the reason for the divorce cases?" Uncle Ben from McCarthy Hill. Okay. I think there's one from Note. I'm interested in Note's submission. This one says that, how do you bond with a man who claims he loves you and is always chatting with his ex? All right, that will be handled by our... kindly go up, please. Kindly go up. The first one. Yes. Thank you. All right. Okay. Pastor Ato, I just checked the dial. I could Note by nature. All right, then. A very good evening to you. Uncle Note, God bless you. All right. This is a case where an individual is so connected with the ex, and she's asking, or he's asking, I don't know whether it's the man or the woman, but is very connected with
that's the husband. I think it's the husband that's connected with the ex.
Right. What
it's difficult to bond because he's still there. You said something so time. He's still there. So whilst he's with you, he's there. You are married to him, but he's connected spiritually to that person.
What should be done in a case like this?
The man needs to come to a point where he needs to ask for help. You see, in our nature,
there are some who say that it was just as good, my ex, but we're just good friends.
No, it's not true. I'm telling good friends. It leads to so many good friends. Whilst your wife is around, we can communicate. There's no friendship. We are not bonding. There's no anything. And you are okay on phone with your ex, and you are happy all over. Whilst your wife is crying, you're not even looking at her face. There's a problem. Because even she doesn't interest you, so you don't know the reason why you have that communication with her. But the ex interests you. You love the way she communicates with you. You love the way she girl.
Could that be something the ex is giving that the wife is not
Your
giving?
wife can never be your ex. This is the point we need to clear. If you wanted to still be with your ex, you should have been with her. It didn't work within the two of you. This is your wife. This is a new woman. Learn her. Find who she is and find a way to deal with her. You see, Pastor Atu said something. When we start comparing, that is where we have an issue. So you want to compare your ex to your wife, you have issues there because they can't be the same people, or you understand. So if you bring the picture of your wife and your ex, you say, the way my ex holds me, I feel so much love, but my wife doesn't do it the same way. You're going to lose your marriage. Go back to your ex because you are not married. So that the thing of you and your ex is still there. So even when your wife is talking to you, trying to play with you, you still want your ex because
I think that this whole leaving and cleaving thing is not just from parents. You don't only leave your parents to cleave.
We don't leave our family. We are still with our girlfriends. We are still bound together.
You have to leave your ex and all this and cleave to your wife.
The way God made it, it wasn't supposed for us to be having sex and all that before marriage.
Yeah.
That is why He said we should leave our parents. If they should change it and rewrite it, that we should not leave only our parents to our exes and claim to our wives and our husbands, because soul tie is a big thing.
Very big. It's a big deal.
Wow.
And if the ex goes, the bonding with the wife will happen.
I see.
And the year Kinozia died, I saw when somebody dies,
somebody will enjoy.
This one says, hi, how do you handle your wife who always gives excuses when she is approached?
She can't talk to you. She doesn't know how to talk to you. The way you approach her, she doesn't like it. But she doesn't know how to speak to you.
So this couple probably are not discussing their sex.
They are not talking.
There's a sign to tell you they are not talking. They're not communicating. So he doesn't even know what she wants. He's not doing it right. And maybe he thinks, oh, I'm doing it. You are not doing nothing. Until you speak to your wife, you are doing nothing. Until she speaks to you about you are doing nothing. Men, the best person to talk to, communicate to, and know whether you are good is your wife.
Reverend Charlotte, somebody's also saying that I want my wife to initiate it, but she will not initiate it.
Some of our women are shy.
Many women don't like initiating.
Why?
I
They
found
are scared.
out something.
You know they are scared of what the man thinks about them.
Okay, that is what.
Scared,
Okay.
How you feel, how you think about it.
Okay.
Is she naughty? Is
sports.
she a bad girl? Is she sports and all that? Because when she comes so sexual to you, some of you men, that's how you do it. You say, by your face tells me, is she okay? Is she fine? She's being sexual. So they'll hold it inside. She needs it, she can't speak. We have a way to communicate. I said a smart man that can find it and know a way to
I did a little research when this thing came up.
Just a follow-up. I think the person said that, the same person who says the wife gives excuses, says she does not open up to sex talk. So there's an orientation
they
problem.
have a problem.
Yeah. So it was one woman, in fact, I think out of 20, I had 15 people saying that, no, we don't actually like saying it because we feel that you have something with me. When you people beg your way through to it, we feel that, that gives me that pride, or that I feel good that he has. The tree man says, "What do you want me and I will buy Inti send ya usi patch or buy and I'm Timmy me de."
This is the woman talking.
This is the woman talking. So, God, I was asking, why don't you like initiate? Why don't you just say it like the way the men say it? A man will plainly tell you that tonight we have to enter Jerusalem. I want it. But the woman will never do. They give you the skills and you have to really tap into the spirit and really know that tonight my wife wants to enter somewhere. But the women, naturally, they don't like saying it. And indeed, it's true. They feel like,
but
they feel like all the men want is sex.
Right?
When you're in orientation for romance, we say, no, sometimes be verbal. Sometimes when we hear it, we also feel good, though.
Men want you to call for it.
My wife wants me to enter the temple
tonight.
It's a
beautiful thing
I feel
to do.
very good.
So let the woman listen to it. It's so beautiful to call your husband on phone whilst he's going. The money is leaving. Just look at him and say, oh, you look good. And when you get to the office, call him. When you left this morning, my God, prepare yourself tonight. I have a show for you.
And it massages his ego.
You know, right? It feels good the whole day. Oh, yeah. It feels good the whole day. It makes him feel good as a man. As if he has won a trophy. He has not gotten anything. Just speaking it out. It spices the marriage up.
Wow. Yeah. Hello, good evening, Uncle Ato. Kindly find out from Mommy, what should one do when you fall in love with a lady that does not reciprocate it and you also don't want to let her go? These ones are not married yet. but I'm very sure it's torn in between. She's not responsive. Is it a sign that you should back off?
You know, sometimes we love people, but they don't love us back. We need to get to a point to understand that I love the person, but they don't want me back. Let it be. I believe in that. Anyway, you destroy yourself because they are not seeing you. It's okay to love somebody, and it's okay to let them go. Love somebody that can give you back, because love is given and is taken.
There's a song like that, loving somebody and somebody loves you back. You know, Uncle Ken, I'm sure, would know that song.
So it's good to love. It's when you love somebody and you stretch for their hand, you're expecting the person to also bring their hand back. You hold hands together, you build it together.
Sure.
If it's only you get tired. You get frustrated.
Right.
So if they don't love you, let it go.
Right.
And you know, the men, we are hurt when we hunt and we don't get.
Yeah.
It's like, so Charlie, I must
like
get hurt.
major failure.
But it's sometimes okay. Let
Relax
it go
about it.
and hunt elsewhere.
Right.
You know, it's better that way than to force your way and to say it's okay out of pity. That's terrible.
Well, all too soon. It's amazing how time flies. I wish we could continue on and on and on and on, but time is up. We'll have to draw down the curtains at this juncture. And I would want to say a very big thank you to you, Reverend Manuel, and Reverend Charlotte as well. It's been educative. It's been fun as well. I would want to take your last comments, and probably if you care to put your contacts out there so that those who want to locate you can locate you. Please do so, beginning from you, Reverend Charlotte.
Okay. Being sexual is not a sin if you're married. Let's do it right. Many are dying in their marriages, especially the men of God. They are too busy with the altar. It's good. It's good you'll be on the altar and do the work of God. But God is expecting you to treat your wife well. And wives, treat the men well. When they are too stressed and they come home, don't let them speak. Do your duty. Release stress. Let them enjoy it. Let's create an atmosphere of love and enjoy love making. Don't be shy to express yourself. Let's explore it. Otherwise, somebody else will do it for your partner. Let's learn how to speak about this thing we call love. It's going to make it work.
Right. How do we contact you?
055-2369-403.
Right.
055-2369-403. Thank you.
Then. Reverend Manuel.
Right. So I would say sexual intimacy is actually meant to glorify God. Because all that you get from sex, if it's done well, it glorifies God. And it must be regular. Sure. It's medicine for men. In fact, it's medicine for mankind.
For us, all of us.
For mankind. It's medicine for our soul. So I'll tell you spiritually, any man, or in fact, any man, I don't want to say man, I mean man and woman anyway. Sure. I don't want to be. Any man who is not receiving regular sex in marriage tends to fail in some areas of their lives.
Wow.
So yes, good sex, good love making is medicine. Let's have this in mind as Christians. So anytime you're making love, remember, I'm giving my wife some spiritual medicine. Which no one can give her. So do it and do it well. If you don't know how to do it, please, let's talk. We teach these things. Sure. Just as we teach how to give, how to receive, how to pray, we also teach sexual intimacy, emotional needs, all these things. That's one of the things we handle. Right. So Christ be with us, not just in prayer, but in love making too. If you're making love to your wife in Christ, you won't give that same thing to another person outside. Sure. You're ungodly.
Right. Is there any contact?
Right. 0244 098 418.
Right.
0244 098 418.
Right. I can imagine somebody saying, when Reverend Manuel said it's medicine, I'm going to give you 2 morning, 2 afternoon, 2 evening, paracetamol. All right. So this is where we'll wrap up. Uncle Ken is very ready to serve us some good jazz tunes on Jazz on Joy. Uncle Ken,
yes.
A very good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, and very good evening to counselors, 2 counselors. You know, I just wish this series would not end.
Wow.
Started on a good note, and tonight I've learned a lot.
Wow.
The song you were talking about, When Somebody Loves You Back.
And Somebody Loves You Back, yes.
It's by Teddy Pendergrass.
Okay.
Interesting.
Teddy Pendergrass. Okay.
Yeah, the late Teddy Pendergrass.
Right. So you can listen to it and use that tonight. Those of you who are turned on with music.
I thoroughly enjoyed the discussion. Very much so.
Thank you.
It was open and frank.
Sure. Yes.
You know, which helps.
Sure.
I just like to add that I think that couples should make it a point to make themselves desirable
Wow.
for their partners.
Wow.
Because that's what helps the intimacy. If
It goes both ways.
Yes, it goes both ways. Both couples should make themselves desirable.
Attractive spouse.
Yeah, to
Looking
each other.
good.
Yes.
Smelling good.
You should.
Yes.
It's very important.
Thank you.
I
You
said it's
just
deeper.
heard. You just heard from Counselor Kenadio.
It's so deeper.
Part 2 and talk about
Yes,
some of the sexual
sure,
environment
sure,
and how to
sure.
initiate, how
That'll
to
be
make
very
it right. I
important.
think we need to.
That'll be
talk
very
Because like last
important.
week, you made most of my friends start calling me counselor.
You are, so we confer that on you. Right then. Thank you very much for doing the listening. This has been A Walk with Jesus. Jazz on Joy is up next. My name is Atwako. I've been ably supported by Abraham Ofusofori. Many thanks to my able and resourceful guests, Reverend Charlotte and Reverend Manuel. Until we meet again, stay on top, still rise. We're out.
Thank you. When are we doing that?
The discerning ear, the spirit of radio, bring lots of cheer in sweet, sweet stereo. Oh boy, boy, oh boy, that must surely be joy. Shibidi-dip-doo, that is great joy, joy.
99.7.
That is great joy, great joy. Jazz on Joy. Jazz on Joy. Jazz on Joy with care. On Joy.
I funky get.